going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day today. Well, my friends, it looks like the day has finally come. I finally caved in after literally hundreds of requests for potential altcoin reviews, altcoin videos. What are my top altcoin picks? Well, today is the day, and the reason that I'm doing this video is because, let's be honest, the Bitcoin price has been absolutely boring the past month, and we have seen some of these altcoins coming out to play. We've seen 25%, 50%, 100%, 250% gains on some of these altcoins. So is it over? Is it done? Or is it just the tip of the iceberg for some of these altcoins? Back in 2017, it was common to see altcoins 100x, 1000x, okay? Here's the chart for Icon, for example, which had an ICO at 11 cents and went all the way up to almost $15, only eventually to end up losing over 95% of its value. And we saw this time and time again with a lot of different altcoins. So, is it possible in 2020 to still get in before these massive runs, to get in before the 100x, or is that just a time of the past? Well, that is what I want to talk about today. I do want to go into some potential altcoins that could be good from a fundamental perspective. Now, obviously, nothing in this video is financial advice. I am not a crystal ball reader. I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. Bitcoin could dump tomorrow, and all of these altcoins could crash to zero, so please take everything in this video with a grain of salt. However, you requested it, so because of that, I am going to go into some of my top altcoins. Now, before we get into this video, obviously, you guys know I am a massive Bitcoin supporter. I do suggest, take it as you want, to hold majority Bitcoin in your portfolio. The reason being that, yes, lots of coins are up maybe 100x even in the past few months. However, if you look at the long-term perspective, most of these coins are still down compared to Bitcoin 90, 80%, okay? Bitcoin, however, only down from the all-time high, a little over 50%, okay? So I do recommend holding Bitcoin and, of course, Ethereum as well. Ethereum is the number 2 crypto. It does have smart contracts. It has decentralized finance. However, it does have a lot of competitors. So obviously, top 2 cryptos would be Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I can already hear you yelling, well, that's boring, K-Dub. I want the big gains. I want the massive gains. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. We're going to start off with a little of the less riskier altcoins, and then by the end of the video, we're going to go into the more risky altcoins, okay? So obviously, the more risk, the more reward, but with that being said, first, I just want to start off with sort of Ethereum competitors, okay? I do think that these smart contract platforms are going to be still huge in the future because that is essentially what all of these other applications are built on. So just starting off with that, obviously, we have big players like Cardano. Now, I know Cardano has obviously been a little bit slow. Some people are not happy with their sort of academics and how everything has to basically go through a peer review. But at the end of the day, they want to make sure that it's absolutely perfect before having basically this let loose from Pandora's box, right? So I do have Cardano on my list, also Tezos as well. I think Tezos is one of the big Ethereum competitors. Tezos already does have staking, whereas we're still waiting for that on Ethereum. We also do have things like Neo, right? Now, Neo, they do have their 2 different tokens, Neo Gas. So I do have my eyes on these, but the one really that has been sticking out lately is Elrond. Now, Elrond is kind of the newer guy on the street. I actually was able to do an interview with Elrond last year, if you checked it out on the channel. But one of the things that I like about Elrond is, number one, just from literally an investment standpoint, not financial advice, but this market cap at only $56 million compared to Neo, 721, Tezos, 1.9 billion. Cardano, $2 billion, Ethereum, $25 billion. When you're looking at a $56 million market cap, this has a lot more room to grow. And it's not just from an investment perspective, but you can also see that they have some pretty incredible tech as well. Having a look over here, they have adaptive state sharding. Now, you might be familiar with Zilliqa. Zilliqa also was one of those projects that recently went on a tear. I do also have a Zilliqa video. If you haven't checked it out, check out out CryptoZombie, Zilliqa, but we're talking about Elrond right now. And what I like about them is they have adaptive state sharding. So basically, this actually combines all three types of sharding into a solution that they say improves communication inside the shards and dramatically increases performance through parallel processing. We are talking a lot of transactions per second, my friends. Also, they have a Byzantine fault tolerance, very similar to Neo's delegated Byzantine fault tolerance. Now, this basically makes it an extremely secure level through basically what they do is they randomly sample consensus groups and random reshuffling. This makes the blockchain a lot more secure. And they also do have their virtual machine. And the other thing that I like about this is that they include a lot of languages, okay? So basically when you have Ethereum, you're dealing with just Solidity, right? Which is somewhat complex and does take a lot of time to learn. Now, there also is Viper, I believe, as well. But for example, over here on Elrond, you do have Rust, C, C++, C#, and TypeScript as well. So I do think that puts Elrond as a bit of a competitor. Now, moving on to one of the biggest categories, and this isn't just one crypto, this is actually a category of cryptocurrencies. You may have seen Compound. Now, in just 2 days, Compound has gone from $81 and peaked at $212. It's only had about a 3% pullback. This is a massive increase, putting Compound at rank 24 on CoinMarketCap. Now, what is Compound? Well, having a look over here, it is part of the decentralized finance ecosystem, and I do believe that as a category as a whole, decentralized finance in general are going to be some of the places you're going to want to look. You can see right here, we've seen massive gains from things like Synthetics. We've seen Aave, which is, I forget what language, it's for ghost, right? For being transparent. You've seen a lot of these guys, right? Bancor, etc., Loopring, Kyber Network, okay? So definitely, I think DeFi as a whole, as a sector, is still going to continue to be a very incredible place to look. I'm not going to make any specific predictions on specific altcoins. I just think in general, we're going to see a lot of action from the DeFi sector moving forward. And you can actually see right here that the total amount locked in DeFi is literally at an all-time high of today at $1.41 billion. Okay? So that is something to keep in mind, and we are going to come back to this in a bit, but one other thing we need to talk about is if we're going to have all of this decentralized finance, well, how are we going to scale? We need scalability. If you're not going to invest in another, or we're not going to use another project like Elrond or one of these other scalable solutions, Zilliqa, Cardano, whatever, you're going to stick with Ethereum, then we do need a scalable solution. And one of the ones that to me has always stuck out is Matic Network. These guys are absolutely legit. I actually did an interview, by the way, with Matic Network, and this interview came out on May 9th of 2019. And guys, I kid you not, if we actually go back here, May 9th of 2019 is literally right here at the absolute bottom. Yeah, I mean, some people said that that interview potentially kicked off the run for Matic. I don't know if I had anything to do with that. I don't want to take any credit for it. But guys, Matic is definitely a pretty incredible project. They have, first of all, they have Dagger, right, which basically allows you to get real alerts for things happening on the Ethereum network. They're already working. They're integrated with lots of projects already, including Decentraland. And they also, basically, if you're an Ethereum developer, you are a Matic developer. So I definitely would keep my eyes on Matic. That is still my top solution for scalability on Ethereum as well. And obviously keeping on track with the Ethereum ecosystem, how could I ignore Chainlink? Now, Chainlink is an oracle, and also they could potentially expand outside of Ethereum as well. So I don't think I need to go into Chainlink. I think a lot of you know why Chainlink is so awesome. We were talking about Chainlink on this channel back when it was down around 30 cents. I actually bought my first Chainlink at 60 cents, and then it dropped, and everyone was freaking out because they lost 50%. Well, if you held, look how that turned out today. But aside from just the market cap, it is a little bit higher. This makes it a bit more of a safer investment. However, the reason that Chainlink, in my opinion, is a potential long-term hold is because the truth is smart contracts are, well, not really that smart, right? We need something to actually feed the data into the blockchains, and that is exactly where oracles come in. I don't think I need to go into Chainlink too much. I'm sure a lot of you know about it. If you don't, just check out their website, read about them, but that is why Chainlink still remains one of my top picks. Now, getting back to DeFi, we do have Ethereum really leading the way when it comes to decentralized finance. However, one of the players on the scene that I don't think has been getting enough credit lately is Kava. Now, what I love about Kava is they're actually outside of the ecosystem, right? They're outside of just Maker. You can see they're backed by Binance, Huobi, OKX, and basically to explain what's going on with them, they do support BNB, Bitcoin, XRP, and Atom as well. So that is one really cool aspect. You can actually lock this into USDX. It's built on Cosmos SDK, which means, hey, totally interoperable. And, if you compare it to something like MakerDAO, which only does ETH-based assets, this is a little bit limited and inefficient, and it does kind of give Kava the potential upper hand, or at least it's something to keep your eyes on. So definitely keep your eyes on Kava. Moving on, speaking about interoperability, you guys know I had to include Quant Network. I have been a fan of Quant Network for a very long time. I'm a fan of what they're doing with the Overledger. I actually did a video on this a while ago. This came out this came out in October of 2018. This is back when I used to do a lot more altcoin reviews. I got a little more Bitcoin focused as my channel went on, but personally, here's the problem. When you have all these different blockchains, they are unable to communicate. So how do you get blockchains to communicate? Well, actually, I teamed up with Hishoshi for this video and had him do a little bit of an audit of the GitHub. It got his seal of approval, but essentially getting back to what these guys are doing, really, they are trying to connect blockchains because blockchains can't communicate with each other. They have data silos, right? So with the Quant Overledger tech, basically what you're able to do is have the communication. And not to mention, these guys are a member of the International Association of Trusted Blockchain Applications. We're going to get back to that in just a little bit. Why? Well, because there's another project that did very well who is a member of this, and we also mentioned that on the channel. But basically, you could see in this recent tweet, Quant has partnered with Oracle. This is huge, guys, and this isn't one of those like fake, we took a picture shaking hands partnerships. This is massive. They say they partnered with them as a fintech partner for delivering financial services infrastructure to Oracle clients. This is really, really massive. Quant Network is the real deal. Will the token, ultimately represent the value of the network? I'm not really too sure, guys. At a $76 million market cap, is this undervalued? Potentially could be if we do see a lot of these applications really get put forward with what the Overledger can do, and we see a lot of enterprises using it, then yes. But, guys, it's all speculation at this point, right? But moving on to our next project, I need to talk about Kusama. Kusama, in my opinion, I think is a very undervalued project at a almost $16 million market cap. This one I have my eyes on. I'm very excited for Kusama. You're probably asking, what the heck is Kusama? Why should I even care about this? Well, why don't we start with this first? Are you familiar with Polkadot? You might be. Well, currently right now, Polkadot is only in IOU form. It's still being developed. It still has audits. They're still trying to perfect it, right? But let's talk about Polkadot first. Well, it enables cross-blockchain transfers of any type of data or asset, not just tokens. This is true interoperability. You guys know I'm a huge fan of interoperability. Polkadot provides unprecedented economic scalability by enabling a common set of validators to secure multiple blockchains. So you're probably saying, why Kusama? Well, guys, Kusama is basically what is known as a canary network. So basically, it is Polkadot. All the things that you will be able to do on Polkadot, you could do on Kusama right now. Now, will Kusama ever, basically become, Polkadot? No, it won't. However, it could become its own network. Maybe down the road, after it's done sort of being that canary network, it could become something else. But one of the things that's cool about Kusama is it doesn't really have to go through all of the audits that Polkadot will have to go through for its final polished version. So I do think that short term, Kusama has a lot of potential. And then long term, I think it could become something completely different. We don't even know what Kusama could evolve into. So keep an eye on it. definitely interested in this one. Kusama, big pick of mine. Not financial advice, like I said, could go to zero, but definitely have my eyes on this one. Definitely excited for Kusama and, of course, the release of Polkadot as well. But getting back to the International Association of Trusted Blockchain Applications, I told you we'd get back to this. Another company that is on this association is Unibright. Now, you may remember when we first talked about Unibright as a potential. That was way back last year. That's right, guys. It was only 2.5 cents. It is currently 40 cents. Congratulations to anybody that got in on Unibright. You guys definitely made a killing. However, we need to talk about if you missed the boat. If you're feeling like you missed out, is there another potential? Well, I do want to talk about LTO Network. Now, LTO Network is, give or take the day, about 1/5 the price or 1/5 the market cap of Unibright. Now, I actually had the opportunity to talk with these guys also back in the beginning of last year. And if you like Unibright, you're going to love LTO. They're dealing with essentially all of the same things. They're dealing with workflows, which is basically, if you actually see, they have sort of that drag and drop, basically decentralized workflow. But like I said, if you understand Unibright, you basically understand LTO Network. But one thing I do want to point out is that recently they have the Netherlands, which has launched their techleap.nl Rise, which is a showcase for future unicorns. And you can see right here, LTO Network has actually been included. So this is pretty big right here. They say as part of the program, the entrepreneurs will be put on the international map with corporates, investors, and media. They receive support and feedback from top Dutch entrepreneurs who share their own insight and lessons learned with the new batch of promising scale-ups. And actually, to quote Rick, the CEO, who I did have an interview with, and you can't see him right now because this graphic is in the way. Right there, he's in the top corner. He did say that being further endorsed by the Dutch government's organizations opens up the window for us to learn from the tech unicorns and expand our reach to the levels it was not possible before. This is not an incubator program or a startup school, far from that. TechLeap is an official representative of the Dutch government, aiding in fostering tech growing in the Netherlands. So, like I said, guys, if you're a fan of Unibright, definitely check out LTO Network. Like I said, they're about 1/5 of the market cap, and I do think they have potential. But obviously, as we do get farther into this list, we are getting into potentially some of the more riskier coins. And, just speaking of like data, for example, data is something that we have seen tokenized on the blockchain before. Sometimes it can get a little bit confusing, can be a little bit riskier, but one of the projects I do want to mention is Ocean Protocol. Now, like I said, this one can be a little bit confusing, a little bit tricky when it comes to data, but you do have to think about the fact that it really is a challenge getting data from certain institutions to other institutions, especially there's certain geopolitical barriers, right? Especially when you're dealing with different countries. So essentially, Ocean Protocol is really trying to just create a frictionless, decentralized way to transfer value via data across, different blockchains, right? Now, what I like about these is they do have a very interesting bunch of companies here and collaborators that they work closely with. Enigma is a company I'm familiar with. They actually have their own, you might be familiar with them. They basically deal with, privacy on the blockchain. Like, let's say that I want to prove that I was paid, but I don't want to show you how much I was paid. That's something you could use Enigma. Enigma has their secret contracts. Mobi as well. Masari, I love using them for on-chain effects. And actually an interesting one down here was Unilever Foundry being involved as well. So that's pretty interesting. Definitely check those out. But moving on to the next one, you may have seen crypto.com. They have MCO, CRO. I'm a big fan of actual products that have things that work, that also have tokens as well. And, the tokens do have some form of utility. Well, I'm not going to go into specifically crypto.com, the MCO, CRO, only because, they obviously have been very popular. A lot of people are familiar with these cards. Obviously, you can stake your MCO. You could look into MCO and CRO as well. But I do want to talk about another project, Swissborg. Now, Swissborg, I am not going to lie, guys, has been on an absolute tear. Pretty high market cap at almost $100 million. Is investing now a bad idea? Not going to say it is, but I am going to say this chart has gone absolutely buck wild. You do what you guys want. Is there more room to the upside? Possibly. Is there a chance for a cool off? Possibly. But fundamentally, I do really love what Swissborg is doing. Also, they are coming to the United States very soon. But scrolling down here, basically, what I love is they have this smart engine. So when you're using this to buy and sell crypto, they basically take the guesswork out of investing, like they said. They connect to Binance, HitBTC, LMAX, and Kraken. And basically what they do is they find the best prices so that they always get you the best deal. Basically, it's like having an arbitrage bot in your pocket to find you the best deal. They also are partners with SEPA for faster payments networks. Bank transfers can be completed in as little as 5 minutes. You can see all the different currencies. They support 14 currencies currently. And yeah, they also have their community app, which basically if you don't want to actually trade, you want to sort of practice trade, you can also do that as well. Definitely keep your eyes on Swissborg. Also one other thing I just want to say is they're one of the most ethical ICOs out there. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the founders still have all of their tokens locked up. So it's not like they're looking to dump it on you guys. You know, they're looking to basically make a legit project. And yeah, check out Swissborg. You know what? Download the app. Try it out first. Maybe if you like the app, that might give you a little more incentive to potentially want to invest, but you don't have to. Worst case, don't invest. Just use the app. It's a really great app from what I hear. I don't know, can't use it in the US, but I am looking forward to it. And the final token on the list is VI token. Now you're probably asking, what is VI? What is VID token? Why is it down 24%? Why are you even recommending this, K-Dub? Well, number one, I'm not recommending anything on this list. Remember guys, this is just my opinion. These are just tokens and coins I'm looking at. However, VID being at a $1.7 million market cap arguably gives it the biggest potential to the upside. This is literally like getting in to a penny stock or one of the early cryptos before they have a massive blast off. This is probably the only crypto on the list that I could see actually doing a 5 to 10x, probably maybe by the end of the month. Of course, it could also go to zero, but with a market cap this low, it does have more potential to the upside. Not financial advice, but let's discuss what the heck is VID anyway. Well, VID is essentially a social media app, okay? It's basically like a video journal. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why do we need another sort of crypto social media? Don't we have Steam? Haven't we had Mithro, which is now like Pi app or something like that, right? We have Hive and other things. And don't forget all the centralized competitors, right? Well, we had TikTok. Did you really think that TikTok would perform as well as it did in comparison to Instagram? Or did anybody think that Snapchat would perform as well? So is there room for VID? Well, the interesting sort of selling point on VID is the fact that they do have this VI token or value income. You could sort of think of it as universal basic income, but for VID users. Now, the interesting thing about this ecosystem is that the tokens are locked up and released on a daily basis. So it's a very slow release. Now, okay, so I post, I get some crypto. We've seen this before. What separates it? What makes it different? Well, you can actually see right here that it is a very symbiotic ecosystem, okay? So obviously the more people that join the network, the more value that is in the network and the more tokens that get distributed. And the interesting thing is that 99% of it goes to the users and only 1% of it goes to VID, but that's not really even the coolest part. Imagine getting on an airplane, taking JetBlue, and posting and tagging and saying, hey, I got on a JetBlue flight, right? So you document it, you show yourself doing it. Well, if JetBlue is actually a partner or they are running advertisements on VID, for example, and you are helping to promote it, then you would actually receive some VI tokens for actually helping to promote it. Now, I'm not going to go into it all right here. If you guys want to check out the white paper, you can. Obviously, VID is in its early stages right now. They don't have all of the features rolled out. But like I said, guys, having a look at this market cap at just $1.7 million, could it flop and go to zero? Yes, but could it also be like getting in at the ground floor of something like Instagram or TikTok? Could also be highest risk. Sometimes could equal the highest reward, right? So that's why I put this at the end of the video. But if you're interested or you just want to test the app out, you can download it over at vid.camera. But guys, that is it for my list today. Let me know what you think. I tried to include some ones that I thought were, fundamentally sound, as well as some potentially high risk investments. So let me know what you guys think. Please understand that nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to buy any of these tokens. I don't own really any of these tokens, okay? I own majority Bitcoin, but I just wanted to let you guys know these are the tokens that I'm looking at. I hope you found value out of this. If I missed something, if you disagree with the list, if you agree, drop some comments below. Let me know what I missed out on, what cryptos you think I should be focused on, and whether or not you think I should be doing more of this altcoin content in the future. Keep in mind, guys, I'm here for you. This is your channel as well. You guys requested it, so that is basically it for me today. Also, just remember, Bitcoin takes a dump. These altcoins could also go with it. So a lot of it does depend on the big guy, but that's it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this list. Hope you found value out of it. If you did, make sure to smash the likes. Definitely get subscribed if you haven't. Join my absolutely free CryptoZombie Telegram group, link below. We hang out. We just basically talk crypto all day. And that is it for me today, guys. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. You're the reason that I made this damn altcoin video anyway, because you were requesting it. So that is it for me. I love you guys. My name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.